Hey everybody, my name is Andy Coleman with the Florida EXP AAC. I do the 5-minute recap for the state meeting. It's going to be at 9:30 a.m. in the Florida Auditorium. If you don't have 30 minutes every Tuesday, just watch my 5-minute recap. All right, let's begin. Agents make mistakes all the time, and that's okay. Nobody's perfect, but if you make a mistake, just reach out to the brokers because that's what they're there for. They will fix your problems. Just make sure you always learn from your mistakes. Guys, remember, every Thursday, there's a new meeting in the Florida State Auditorium. It's called the Broker Exchange, and it's at 8:45 a.m., so definitely check that out every Thursday. Okay, very important news. We have the EXP Florida holiday party coming up on November 4th at 6:30 p.m. at the Pavilion Grill in Boca Raton. You guys do not want to miss this. It's gonna be incredible. Go and get your tickets now. We're only allowing the first 350 agents to sign up actually get a ticket. It's gonna be completely free. All we ask is a $5 donation for a good cause. There's gonna be a 3-course meal. There's gonna be 2 free drinks. There's gonna be dessert, a DJ, photo booth, raffles being given off. There's gonna be so much amazing things going on. Vendors giving discounts. Guys, you do not want to miss this. And again, I'm going to drop a link in the description for the Eventbrite ticket. Go and get them now because it is free and we're only allowing the first 350 agents. I'm going to say this one more time. Go to Eventbrite and get your tickets now. Also, the South Florida Miami Rally and the Orlando Rally is coming up as well. I'm going to drop a description. Get your tickets for that as well. If you are Icon, you get your 2000 stock if you haven't gotten it already. If you're not, all the Icons will be speaking there and dropping valuable knowledge and information on how you can Icon. Bill goes on to say that real estate is not a 9-to-5 job, so stop treating it like it. You're an entrepreneur. This is a business, so start treating it that way. He then goes on to say you need a qualified lender if you're gonna succeed in real estate. You gotta build a team, and a mortgage broker, that is paramount to building a successful real estate career, which leads me to my next point. Seth Kasner from Success Lending is gonna be our guest speaker today, and he comes on and talks about commissions and assumable mortgages. Guys, he has a wealth of experience. He's been doing this since 1984. Now you may be thinking, what is an assumable mortgage? Well, it's when the buyer covers the gap of the existing loan from the purchase price, and then they get that interest rate that the original buyer, which is the now seller, that's the rate they get it at. So I'll give you an example. Let's say 2 years ago, a seller now is selling the house and they want to do an assumed mortgage. Well, maybe they got the interest rate for 3%. If you come in and pay the difference of the house, let's say the house was $400,000 and there's $200,000 left on the loan. If you come in and put $200,000 down as your down payment, you're going to get all the equity in the house, whatever's in there already, plus you're going to get the 2.5%. And then obviously you're buying the home for $400K. This way you can lock in those old amazing rates because right now we know it's not a buyer's market, it's not a seller's market. So you got to get creative for your clients. And an assumed mortgage is very creative and it'll work in circumstances that won't work otherwise. Now, right now he does go on to say that there are no conventional loans that he can think of that work for assumed mortgages. So it's only going to be VA and FHA loans. The beauty of this is if the new buyer defaults, it's not on the seller. It's the new buyer that's going to go into foreclosure. So everything gets transferred out of the original buyer's name and now comes to the new buyer. Now you may be thinking, how do you qualify for an assumed mortgage? Well, Seth goes on to say that if you have decent credit right around 600, because that's the minimum for FHA and VA, then you can probably qualify as long as your income is there. It's basically the same as qualifying for an FHA or a VA loan. Now, yes, for doing this, you do have to have more money out of pocket typically, because remember, you have to cover the difference between the loan amount and the purchase price. Definitely go back and watch the entire state meeting. He covers everything in depth, in detail. This is just a 5-minute recap, remember, so I'm just giving you the details. I'm going to drop a link in the description so you guys can go and watch it back. We also got into a discussion about Subject 2, which is a little bit different than assumed mortgages. If you guys haven't heard about Subject 2 yet, it's really coming to light now. It's been around for a long time, but here's the thing. You gotta be safe when you're doing Subject 2. You have to make sure you get a really good lawyer to write up the contract when you're doing this, and you gotta make sure you cover yourselves and your clients. Subject 2 is a little bit different. For Subject 2, you use the title company to transfer the deed into the new buyer's name, and the seller is still on the hook for the loan. The loan stays in the seller's name, but the new buyer just starts paying off the loan, and now the deed is in the new buyer's name. Now, yes, this might get a little bit confusing, and this is really creative financing, so if you're doing this, you gotta make sure you contact an attorney so they can write up your addendums and they can write up your contracts for you, and you have to disclose everything. Because what happens if they default? Well, typically in the contract, what you write up is the house will actually go back back to the original seller. And then whatever equity the new buyer had put into the home actually goes back to the seller, because now the deed gets transferred back into the seller's name. So again, guys, in this market, you gotta get creative. Be really careful when you're doing this though. This is a fine line. Now, yes, I do hear that this is legal, but you have to contact an attorney and figure out the details. Because if and when the bank finds out, they can call the loan due. So be really careful when you're doing this. So make sure you disclose everything and contact an attorney. Guys, Seth Kasner is an amazing mortgage broker. He is with Success Lending and he is incredible. So if you guys need any kind of help at all, reach out to Seth. I'm gonna drop his contact information in the description, and I'm gonna link his website as well. So if you guys are looking for a really good lender, reach out to Seth. He's got it covered. All right, guys, that was it for my 5-minute state recap. Now, the Florida State EXP meeting is held every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. in the Florida Auditorium. So if you don't have 30 minutes to go and watch the meeting, just watch my 5-minute recap. I'll be breaking down all the latest news, the guest speakers, and everything you may have missed. I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, hit the like button, drop a comment below, subscribe to my channel because 85% of you are not subscribed. What are you doing? Hit the subscribe button right now, and I'll catch everybody in the next one.